there's nothing funny about SERE School at all. It's the most interesting school and the most rewarding school that I never would ever go back through.
It's not the physical, it's that psychological breakdown. In Ranger School, you could just buzz out. You could just tune it out and just follow the guy in front of you. There's no following because everyone is fucked up.
24 hours in of no sleep, like you just lose all fucking consciousness as far as like what's around you. You can be the hardest dude and then you hit SERE School and it brought the bitch out of everyone. I'm talking about like when the day came, everybody was in tears.
Oh yeah, bro.
You were crying.
Oh, bro.
Everyone cries.
Everybody cries.
What makes you cry? What is it?
What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Black Ops. All right, I have Dennis V and myself and then Nick Irving on. And again, guys, we just want to bring value. We really appreciate all the feedback we've been getting from you guys. Again, if you guys want us to cover anything specifically, please let us know. With all that said, Dennis, folks don't know you, man. Who are you and where can they find you?
Oh, well, I'm Dennis V. Unfortunately, I'm stuck in Fayetteville, North Carolina, like every guy that retired out of Fort Bragg. The place you'd want to leave and you can never leave. Grew up in New York. I grew up in New York, you know, joined the military early. I joined the military in the 90s, 90 to 96. There was nothing going on. So when I got out, I was like, this army, it sucks because there was nothing going on. As you know, as we spoke previously, I was in New York during 9/11, hit close to home. So I joined up thinking I was going to do another tour and go back home, you know, do whatever. And I wound up sticking it out for a solid 20.
Damn.
Yeah, because you did 20, then retired, and now you're doing stand-up, correct?
I'm doing stand-up. Yes, I am. That was quite of a jump. It seems like a joke, but it's not. But I went to the VA, you know, like we all have to go at one point of our lives. When we get out, I went to the VA. I was having some issues, and they were giving me an appointment 6-7 months down the line. And there was actually a flyer there for the Armed Services Arts Program. It's a free program that soldiers, service members, veterans could use to learn comedy, to learn screenwriting, to learn singing, you know, whatever your artistic desire is, they have a platform for that. And so I did that. I did stand-up comedy, and I never went back to therapy. Not to go back to therapy, but no, stand-up comedy became a conduit, you know, to deal with the shit, and especially that transition from military to civilian, and not only military to civilian, that transition from wartime military to civilian. That's the big one, you know, because I transitioned previously military to civilian. It wasn't a big deal. Now leaving all of that behind, you know, 20 years of war, whatever amount of time we spent there, that was the hard part.
Oh, I can only imagine. Nick, what do you think would be harder for you, like becoming a comedian or going back to the Ranger School at this age that you're at now?
Probably a comedian, bro. Like, I can do crowds, but I wouldn't know what to do if a crowd didn't react to my joke. You know, I gotta run off the stage, bro. I'm not sticking around for that. You know what? This isn't for me. No.
That was a horrible feeling.
You've had it happen.
Oh, it's happened. Oh, it's gonna happen to every comedian.
Okay.
Every comedian goes through that, and you'll go through a stretch of that. You know what it's like?
No, I'm quitting, bro. I never quit anything, but I'd quit that quick.
You know what it's like? It's like your whole Ranger School squad getting a first time go, and you gotta redo that phase.
Nope. Not happening. How long have you been doing comedy?
I've just hit 4 years.
4 years now. Yeah, we're at all in Carolina or what?
No, all over the place.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, California, Texas, you know, wherever there's a show, and I'm mostly geared towards veterans. Like we do a lot of VFW shows, American Legions, you know, special shows at clubs for veterans and military, first responder type thing. So that's helped a lot. Is, you know, the military and the veteran community. I don't gotta look for the laughs. The laughs are there. We already share the suck. I just got
Mm-hmm.
to remind them about the suck. And, I hate to say it, it's an easy laugh. It's,
Okay.
it's like being at the barbecue.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So it's been good. It's real good.
Would you say
Now,
military is harder, guys to impress, or civilian?
Uh,
what's going on, folks? No Excuses is now live on Amazon, right? You can go order your copy right now, and within 2 or 3 days, you will have it. I greatly appreciate you guys dealing with all the ads. I just want to get this book out there because I know it can help change a lot of people's lives. Go check it out. Leave me a review on Amazon. I'm trying to get this book out there. And also, guys, let me know what you think. Greatly appreciate you guys. Again, No Excuses live right now on Amazon for you to order.
Civilians for sure, especially
Okay.
nowadays that everyone's so politically correct.
Mm.
It's I've had I've had 5, 6 sets in a row just kill at different states, different posts, different venues, and then I'll go to a civilian show and I'll do that same set, and it's like you can see the cringe on their face. It's like
Oh
They don't get
wow.
it. They don't get
they
that
Yeah.
don't get
military
it. They
humor.
don't. You know what it is? They don't want to get it. They don't want to seem guilty of laughing you know, at other
Really.
people's hardship.
Really. Oh, that's just
Yeah.
the softness, and I think yeah, this not even generation. When you say generation or this country has just gotten softer over time.
Well, I would have to say it's not just this country; it's global. I
Oh.
mean, if you think about geopolitical aspect of this, you got Russia, this powerhouse, and they're still struggling with Ukraine. That's because their
Mm.
soldiers are quitting. Their soldiers don't want to be there. It's cold. I'm
Mm.
hungry. So that's around the world. And you just see it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a thing. They don't make them like they used to. I know exactly
Yep.
what that means now.
Yep.
now,
Yep.
now, V, you used to do comedy prior to the military. How has your 20 plus years spent in the military help you craft your trade? As far as, do you approach comedy from a different, more methodical
Yeah,
Mm.
MDMP? Like, how do you do you approach it better now, or is it
way
about the
better,
same?
much more organized. You know, so I did a little bit of comedy in 2001, right before 9/11, and back then the political climate, the environment was all different. You could talk about whatever you want. That was the Chappelles, that was the Patrice O'Neills, those were, David Tells. All you got to do is go up there and talk about nonsense, and be kind of crude about it. Now you got to walk them through a joke. You got to walk them through. You got to set it up nice so they could get the punchline.
Mm.
Um, and you gotta. Another one is that I'm older. I'm 55 now, so I've lived. I don't gotta make up material.
Mm.
You just look back and you're like, wow. You could do a whole hour set. Just on Ranger School, just on one phase of Ranger School. But you got these young comics that all they do is talk about how depressed they are, or my girlfriend
Oh.
doesn't love me, and I'm like, bro, you want one of mine? I got like 5 girlfriends. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't got 5 girlfriends. I'm gonna need you to edit that part. That part gotta go.
I got you. I
But
got you.
it's a lot more methodical now. And I hate to be that guy, but I will say, you know, going to regiment, being in SF and all that, you appreciate the methodology on how to do something right. It's
Mm.
not just going up there winging it. Some people could do that and it works, but you know, there is a method to it, and I've learned it the hard way. But now it works.
Mm.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, we were talking about earlier, V, like there's and Nick, man, I want to say might be the same thing within the African American community, right? Like there's different levels to your blackness. Just
Yep.
like
Yep.
V, we
Yep.
were talking about there's different levels to your Hispanic heritage, right? You got Spain, right? And is it uh PR, like Puerto Rico, then you have like DR, like what's the hierarchy? Because it always blows my mind, like there's still classes
Uh,
within the
That
so
races.
yeah, that's
that
weird to me.
dynamic has kind of changed, but you know, you go through the history books and everything. you had Spain, and the first place they landed was Dominican Republic, Hispaniola. So at one point, that was the hub. So you were like in little Spain there, but then Cuba came into play, and that was the hierarchy. You were
Hmm.
Spaniard, and then you were Cuban, and then Puerto Rican, Dominican, and then Latin America. But with the arts, music, with sports, with soccer, that has changed that dynamic because now you got powerhouses that are like, okay, we're not economic powerhouses, but we got the best soccer players and the whole world follows us. So it's a weird dynamic now. But
Hmm.
it's like that everywhere. I mean, when I
Oh
was
yeah.
growing up, the Spike Lee movie was School Days.
Oh yeah.
The light skins versus the
Light
dark
skin.
skins.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
You
Yep.
got Jay Dorleus saying shit like, "Oh, you from Yonkers, right?" No, bro, I'm from the Bronx.
What's
Okay.
the difference though? That's always weirded me out about like New York. If
Yeah.
you say somebody's from Bronx or Brooklyn or
Oh,
Yonkers,
they
like
take it
what
personal, bro.
for what? I mean, it's all one the same location though, right?
It's still a city,
Nah,
but
nah.
there's
So,
yeah.
so Manhattan's an island, and it's surrounded by, you know, other land masses. Brooklyn being the biggest one. Um, it's all and that goes back to when it was cool to be poor, to be gritty, to be, you
Ah.
know, that's where that comes from. Oh, I grew up in the worst place, so I'm harder, I'm tougher, I'm
Mm-hmm.
this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw into the mix, you're like, you from Yonkers, like get your ass out of here. Yonkers got
Yonkers is a
private
nice spot.
schools. You hit me hard. I was like, what?
Yonkers
I'm
is the nicer spot.
yeah. So that's where that comes from. Everybody, you know, back then, and I say back then because I look back and I'm talking about, wow, 30 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, your street cred came from being from the street. It came from being
Mm-hmm.
from the
Yeah.
Bronx, from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know, hip hop was only there or Los Angeles. No one even
Uh-huh.
thought about doing hip hop from the Midwest or anything. So because it had to be where you were from, what you went through. It's
Yep.
kind of
Yep.
like that whole veteran community thing.
Yep.
It's a shared experience.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's like Chris was saying the other day when he was in, like, he's from one shitty part, I'm from one shitty part, and he's
Yep.
from
Yep.
one shitty part. Yeah, it's almost like something that bonds us, right? So yeah, to
Mm-hmm.
all the uh folks out there from shitty parts of the country, shout out to you. Yeah. All right. We'll jump into the question of the segment, guys, which will kick off this conversation. What's the hardest truth you've ever had to accept about yourself, and how did accepting it make you a better man?
The hardest truth that I had to accept about myself. Um, Man, the hardest truth, bro. I would say, well, there's a couple, I guess. The first one would be I wasn't as good as who I thought I was, being humbled in that aspect, like wishing for that crazy firefight and you actually get it and you're like, oh shit, it humbles you quick. You go from being like, oh, I'm the best, whatever, and then you get humbled from that experience. And I think the second one would be hardest truth would be, man, I was a crazy alcoholic, bro. I had huge problems. That was one of the hardest truths, man, was realizing that. Like, instead of trying to hide, I always tried to, not always, but trying to hide it. And then when I would tell my wife or, my mom that I was getting better and I was really just like going out to the car to drink some Jack Daniels and try to hide it, realizing that, man, was like one of the hardest truths because I did want to give it up, but then I couldn't give it up. I was addicted to it. I think that was one of the hardest truths, man, was that I had an issue and I wasn't as mentally strong as I wanted to be or thought I was, because that was one of the hardest things to break, bro, addiction.
How about you, V? What's the hardest truth you've ever had to accept about yourself, and how did it change you as a man?
So
One thing I've always hated, guys, is finding clothes that look good. However, they fit like crap. I stay in the gym, if you guys can't tell. I'll go to my local stores, find something that looks cool that I like. However, I put it on and it just doesn't do me justice. Why I drafted to Barbell Apparel, right? Not only do their clothes look good, their clothes are also designed and built for trainers, for athletes, for military dudes. So you can put all the work in the gym and know that by going with Barbell Apparel, you're gonna find the clothing that shows up all the work, which is why I personally like wearing them. Right now, Barbell Apparel is running a buy two, get one free on everything in their stores. That's the shorts, the t-shirts, the flannel shirts, right? The jeans. Buy two, get one off, guys. Perfect timing to go check them out before they run out of stock. Again, the link will be in the pinned comments and also the description box. Again, guys, Barbell Apparel, I'm comfortable with their clothing, and hopefully you are also.
Like Nick was saying, that humbling part, that you know, that you're not as good as you thought you were. You know, but there's a flip side to that coin. You know, sometimes you could go down that rabbit hole where maybe I'm not as good, or and then you look around and be like, but hold up, I was part of the less than 1% of the motherfuckers that were good. And even on my worst day, I'm better than 99% of these people out here. You know, and that's only when I relate it to my vision. You know, you gotta, it becomes a security blanket where, you know, that humbleness could come two ways. That it could be like, some guys can't get over that. Some guys will be like, well, I'm not as good as I thought I was, or I used to be this, or I used to be that, and now I'm just this. But even at your just that moment, at your worst, just through accomplishments that you've done, whatever it may be, you're better than so many other people. And it's not being better, you're
That's
different.
true.
You know,
Yeah,
you've tested yourself. You know, it's like you know, the shittiest Rangers better than, you know, better than the best Marine type thing. You know,
gotcha.
that
Yeah,
type of mentality. You know, there are people that are out there that are way better than we are.
yeah.
But they haven't accomplished not even a fraction, you know, and they haven't stepped up to the plate on things. They play it safe their whole life. You know, that was a big one. Is what Nick said. Humbling experience. And the truth, oh, the biggest truth is that, brother, the hard pill to swallow is that I'm nowhere near being good, being better. You know, whenever you wrestle this one demon, whether it's being an alcoholic, whether it's, you know, fighting at bars or something, you wrestle that demon, then you got another demon that pops up. And then you wrestle that one, then you got another one. And then when you think everything's good, you know, something hits the home life, someone dies, or, you
Yep.
know, your marriage becomes fractured, your relationships with your friends aren't the same. So there's always a demon. And, you know, people think that going to therapy, doing things makes you better. Nah, it doesn't make you better, just gives you a coping mechanism for the rest of your life.
Yep. Yep.
That's all it is. That's what comedy is to me. It's a coping mechanism. You know, because it's hard. It's hard. It's hard work to sit down and write things, but at the same time, it's that helps me swallow the pill, making it funny. You know, making fights, you know, relationships funny. Kids that don't like their parents. You know, I see comedians go up there and talk about how their kids don't like them, and everyone's laughing, and I'm like, yeah, that's funny, but I can see that it's a chord. It hit a chord with you, brother. You're
Yep.
just owning it. That's all it is. It's there are a lot of hard pills to swallow, but I'm gonna tell you what made everything better was, um, it was a rough day at SERE School. Jay and I were at SERE School, and you know, the SERE instructor, everyone's sucking dick, and the SERE instructor turns to Jay. Jay's in ripped up pajamas with his fucking ding a dong swinging out. Yeah, and the instructor just stops, and he's just like, "What the fuck is that? Put that away. You're gonna hurt the kids." I'm like, "There's kids here? Where the fuck are the kids?" So those are the things that make life fucking funny. You gotta find the funny in it, brother.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
gotta
dude,
find the funny in it.
I'll tell you right now, V, there's nothing funny about SERE School at all. Okay? Fuck
You
that
didn't like it?
school. Oh, bro.
Nah.
It's the most interesting school and the most rewarding school that I never would ever go back through.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
if I was given the choice to give up my tab and my beret or go
Stop
back to
playing.
SERE School, Dude, I'll package that bitch up and ship express mail.
What was hard about it? I didn't go.
Oh
It's
man,
the psychological.
it's the psychological aspect of it, man. Like,
But you know it's fake though, right?
it is fake.
At a certain point, you don't.
And that's the fucked up part.
That school
Really?
is designed so perfect that they know when they peak the look, brother. I'm getting goosebumps. When they peak the school, because it peaks, and you look around, and brother, you're like, where the fuck are we? And why is this guy talking like a chicken and this one's sharpening this? What is going?
What?
It's a
Yeah.
very, very well developed school. You know, it's not like Ranger School. It's not like RIP. You know, where we go there and you kind of measure everybody out. You're like, yeah, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a click with this guy. There. It's not the physical. It's that psychological breakdown. You know, in Ranger School, you could just buzz out. You could just tune it out and just follow the guy in front of you.
Yep.
Just if you're not leading a patrol, just follow the guy in front of you.
Yep.
There's no following because everyone is fucked up.
Dude, and I'm talking about like a couple of, I would say 24 hours in of no sleep, like you just lose all fucking like consciousness as far as like what's around you. And then they start isolating you and they start putting you in rooms and they start pulling on those strings, figuring out what dude, I remember there was this dude, just big jack dude, man, like stellar throughout the entire course. I was so tired, they put me in the box and I went to sleep.
Oh,
I'm talking
yeah.
about like, now, bro, like when I say box, I'm talking about like I was 155 pounds then, but they made me fit in this little fucking box. And I'm sitting in this box and I'm so tired. As soon as I get in there, like I'm out, right? I'm getting my 2 hours. Like, fuck this. But the guy next to me, he was claustrophobic.
I am too. I am too.
Spent the entire 2 hours yelling and screaming and crying.
That would have been me.
Off the top of his lungs. And he quit right there. He was like, I'm fucking
you can
done.
quit.
Oh yeah, you can quit.
Yeah, so but the fucked up thing is the instructors didn't let him out. So he still had to spend those 2 hours in there. And then once he got out and the iteration was done, they booted him.
Jeez.
Because he technically quit.
He quit, all right.
But that school is designed to literally, like, I'm talking about like within our class, I think we were all there. Like when the day finally came, everybody was in tears. To include my punk ass. Oh, dude.
Oh yeah, bro.
You were crying.
Oh, bro.
Everyone cries.
Everybody cries.
What makes you cry? What is it?
I don't.
It was
the way they ended it.
So because every morning we had to wake up and we had a they wanted us to, you know, they turn our backs to their flag and then we got to turn around and, you know, pledge allegiance to their flag, you know, and while you're getting the shit beat out of you because they slap you, they hit you and everything.
Damn.
So it becomes so ingrained in you, and the end of every course is different, but this is the one that they do the most. So we wake up this one morning and we're like, here we go again with this bullshit. And then, you know, they go up there and they're like, you know, turn around and pledge allegiance to our flag. And you turn around and it's the American flag. Bro, that was it, brother. That was it.
I'm talking about everybody's balling, dude.
Damn.
Bro, that was
it just hits different.
Yeah,
ain't going back though.
It's psychologically developed. It's one of the best. You know, it seems like it's just craziness, but it's the bricks that they used to build it. It was done so methodically that they know. You know, it's like it's incredible. Like he said, I wouldn't go back.
I'm glad I didn't go. I'm claustrophobic, bro. I couldn't make it.
Bro,
you put me in a box. That's it, dude. I'm quitting. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Like another thing that SERE School taught me, and I'm sure it was the same for you too, V. Like it brought the bitch out of everyone.
Oh yeah,
right. Like you can be the hardest dude, and we saw him throughout the course. And then you hit SERE School, and one of the things that, and of course, it's designed to reach on a certain goal, right? So This segment is brought to you by Tasty Gains Creatine Gummies. Right, 42. I just got back on a creatine regimen. I'm on TRT, and my muscles still feel like they're missing something, right? So I started back up the creatine regimen, and I am taking Tasty Gains, right? I grew up on creatine, and one thing I always hated about taking creatine was just powder form, right? Mixing it in water, milk, whatever you're taking with, and having residue left at the bottom of the cup. Can't stand it. With Tasty Gains, again, gummy form, all I got to do is just grab me a serving, chew it, and I'm out the door. I'm on my way, right? Since I've started taking these, muscle recovery has been through the roof. I've been able to sleep like I'm 10 again. Awesome product. Again, Tasty Gains creatine. Link will be in the description box below. Check it out. Let me know what you guys think about it. While you're going through, like, let's say the three of us are going through the course, and V's the most senior one. So what they'll do is they'll just snatch up Nick, right? Like, we'll be in the yard doing whatever, and they'll snatch you up, and they'll isolate you in a corner, and they'll start beating on you, right? And the leader, just like you see in all the POW movies, the leader is supposed to come to your rescue, right? Yep. But as soon as he does that, they stop beating you and start beating him.
Oh yeah,
you know,
to make me sad about it.
Yeah, right. So it's designed like that, but there'd just be dudes in the corner just getting fucking beat on.
Oh yeah, that was that
the guy.
Brother, you know what? That was so. I was the senior guy going into the course, because I got promoted to E7 during the Q course.
Damn.
Everybody was at E6 or E5, and I was like, "Oh man, this is gonna suck for me." But when we got there were two National Guard guys. One was I think he was a major, National Guard, SF guys. They were grandfathered, so they never had to go through the Q course. These were way older guys. So one was a senior enlist. He was an E9, as a matter of fact.
Choo.
He was an E9, and they already had their tabs and everything. And halfway, not even halfway, he said, "Oh man, you know what? I already got my tab," and he quit.
He quit.
He quit. He quit because I remember there was this girl, because we have females in our class too. That's another thing.
What?
I remember that.
Yeah, there was this girl there was this girl
Instructors or students?
No, students.
Students.
Huh.
Oh, dude. She got it bad, man. I remember they used to have her walk around like she was a whore. No, like she was a whore. Like she had the tank tops on, and then she would walk the yard soliciting sex. I remember that. Yeah,
we
dude.
had three females. And we had one, she was a chaplain. Bro, you talk about getting it bad. She
was black too.
She was black.
What?
And just to show you how methodical they are in the school, you know, she had arranged, she had a compromise with them. She made an agreement if she could do services for us. And they were like, yeah, you know, they're like, sure, you could do that. So one of the guards comes over while she's doing service, and he says, "Can I see your Bible? You know, I don't know about Christianity." Now mind you, we don't know anything about this guy's background. So he starts he takes a Bible and he dissected it to a point where, you know, he was like, "Oh, I gotta, you know, Old Testament, isn't the Old Testament about the Jewish people's, you know, exodus from you know, leaving Egypt and all that?" And she was like, "Yeah, you know, it's about the Jewish foundation of Christianity." He goes, "Are there any Jews here?" And there were none. And he just ripped out the whole Old Testament. He was like, "Then this has nothing to do with you."
What?
He just ripped it and threw it away. And then he did that through the whole thing. He's like, you know, are there any Greeks here? Are there any, you know, every aspect of the Bible that had to do with a denomination? At the end, I'm not lying, there were maybe 10 pages. He was like, "Out of your whole book, these are the only 10 pages that pertain to you."
Jeez.
But and then afterwards, he's actually a minister at a church.
Yep.
You know, with a doctorate in theology. So
wow.
That just broke her spirit.
The crazy thing is, these guys that are putting us through this, they're all SF cadres, right? They're like RIs. So like once the course is done, they're sitting with you and they're doing like your intercourse counseling, and you're looking at
Oh,
these guys like still like a little bitch, you know. It's just it's the
and they're your
most,
boss.
dude. It was the most awkward. Oh, dude, I remember till this day. Well, I don't know if this guy's still around, but they call him Chaos,
Oh, bro, I'm gonna
bro.
tell you about that one.
Big black dude with these fucking monster hands. And I remember, you know, like we heard stories about him as we're going through the Q course. He was like a
Uh-huh.
legend. And when we got there, it didn't disappoint. And I remember I got hit by this dude and I just saw stars and I was picking myself up, right? And I remember my
Ah,
buddy was telling me a story about because he lives around the area. There was a student, you know, he went to the grocery store and he saw Chaos and he was with his family shopping and he saw Chaos as a regular civilian just going about his business. He saw him in the store, freaked out, and just ran out of the store
are
and
you
just
serious?
left his
We
wife,
must
his
be
kids
talking
in
about
there.
we must be talking about the same person I was about to mention because
Dude,
I'm not gonna mention his name because he's still out there doing stuff. Uh, you
that's how
know,
fucked up he was, man.
yeah, he went into Walmart with his family,
Uh,
and he saw him, and he was like, brother, if I had a full bladder, I would have pissed myself.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
oh shit. Dude, I remember I almost quit on this day. I almost quit. I ain't gonna lie. I almost fucking quit.
Hell yeah. Ain't nothing
So
wrong with that.
oh, dude, they had me isolated, right? They're doing their interrogation or whatever, and up to this point, like everything was good. And
Are you
this
in the
dude,
dark?
no, it was a small like room. It was light, you
Okay.
know, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'm dressed in my prison fucking attire or whatever, going through it, and this guy started, you know, going through it, and of course you get trained on what to do and how to handle everything or whatever. And this dude goes behind me and he starts rubbing on my shoulders.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
That was that was
Nope.
that was my scenario for the day. He starts
Nope.
rubbing on my shoulders, playing with my head and my hair,
Oh
started touching me and
no.
shit. I was like, oh man. I was like,
Oh
oh
no.
Bro,
Am I
we had
it's,
yeah,
it's
we
like
had we had
it was
another guy.
oh shit.
We
I
had
was
another
like,
guy.
oh
He had that
no.
same scenario.
Oh bro.
Uh, he had that same scenario, and the guy got real close to him. So he was playing gay chicken, and the student actually did.
Oh,
Like, he blew him a kiss. Hey, you talk about getting the living shit beat out of you, bro.
Are you serious? I was thinking,
oh
Yeah.
what if you
dude.
play along with it? I would have played along with it.
Oh, dude, I couldn't. Like, I was so fucked up. Like, he got behind me, started massaging my shoulders, and towards the end of my intercourse critiques, he was my instructor, and he debriefed me. And he was like, dude, I started going into my scenario. He stood me up. He was back there laughing. He was like, as I'm touching you, dude, he said, I said, I watched your butt cheeks get so tight. He
Oh
started
my
He
God.
said he was back there just dying of laughter. He couldn't keep an entire like he couldn't keep his composure to go through the entire scenario. So he just fucking kicked me out. I was
I
like, well,
like
thank you
that.
for that, because that would have been it. I would have been fucking done. I was like, nope, not going down this road. But yeah, good times, Nick. Dude, I thought about
Good
creating a
time.
civilian school for
I don't know if
or
you
a
could.
civilian SERE school for folks to go through. I think
I
it'll
don't
be
know if you
badass.
could nowadays, man.
Yeah, you can
The
create a
way,
bunch
You
of
could.
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could. They got those. They got those. This is hilarious. Those alpha male
Yep.
academies,
Oh, we
Yep.
talked
Yep.
about it the
Yep.
other day. Yeah.
Yep.
bro. That's my man. You could join the army and get treated like shit.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we
Yep.
talked about I want to say it's like the second episode we
Yeah.
That
talked
is
And
about that.
crazy.
get
That's
paid to do it too.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they pay. Yo, I want to say one of them I was reading in Rolling Stone magazine was running like $18,000
Yep.
Are you kidding me,
Per
Yep.
person. Per person.
bro? My mother did that shit to me for free,
Yep.
and this
Yep.
dude is you paying to get. Brother, come to
Oh.
my house. I'll show you. That shit is crazy. Alpha Academy.
Oh man. Yeah, that shit's pretty funny. All right. We'll switch gears a little bit and goes towards masculinity. V, growing up as a kid, like what was masculinity to you? Like how did you learn about what masculinity was, and how did that change over time for you?
You
Hmm.
know what? That is actually a topic of conversation that I've touched in therapy, because I'm a Gen Xer. So masculinity was everything that is shunned upon today.
Hold on. What is Gen X? What year is that?
That's I was born in 1970, so it's 65 to 80.
Okay.
So, Nick, you talking about, you had an alcoholic, you were dealing with alcohol problems. Back then, that was
Hmm.
masculinity. Back then,
Mm.
drinking was being the masculinity. Promiscuity, being promiscuous, masculinity. Cheating on your wife, that was masculine. You
Yep.
know, being a grimy, and not grimy in the sense you out there doing evil, bad thing, but like, you know, beating your wife was masculine.
Oh, okay.
Guys used
Wow.
to
Yeah.
talk about, you know, I remember hearing that older guys, the bookies, because there was a lot of gambling in our neighborhood. They would talk about, I went home and my wife did. I had to give her, I had to give her a fresh one. I had to show her, But I was like, man, I can't wait till I
Damn.
grow up. I can start smacking women. I'm like legit. No, no. So all the things,
Can't wait till I grow up.
yeah. Like, when do I get to smack a bitch? So like, legit. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine your
You'd be in
18th
jail
birthday,
now.
your dad just hands you a woman for you to smack? Oh, you're a
Right.
man today. Smack her. But like nowadays, it's like, and it's hard because, brother, we can't say retard. People get offended. Back then,
Yep.
that was an everyday word. So being masculine was
I say it
very,
every day in my house. Every
oh,
day.
brother, by noon, look, I say that word so much that it's lost its meaning.
Right. Yep.
It's lost its meaning. But like masculinity it's what's taboo today. But in the same token, you had to provide for your household.
Yeah.
If you was gonna out there doing your things, brother, the household had to be on point, the money had to be on point. You know, it was kind of like, well, I bring the money so I could do what I want type masculinity.
Mm.
Mm.
It wasn't. I got a whole joke about that. How back in the day, shit got rough. People went out there and they robbed people. They used to sell drugs. Now
Mm-hmm.
guys are out there door dashing, complaining on fucking social media they didn't get a tip.
Yep.
Bro, you
Yep.
a
Hmm.
grown
Yep.
ass man. Go
Yep.
go
Yep.
get go make cement, bro. Go do something. Go rob
Mm.
someone. Go,
Yep.
That used to
so
be the good old days, man. That
masculinity's
used to
changed
be
a
the good
lot,
old days.
and
Yeah.
especially people of color, minority, whatever the fuck they want to
Hmm.
call us. You were held to a higher level. There were no
Yeah.
emotions in that shit. You
Mm-hmm.
get your ass beat and you start crying, and your parents are hitting you because you're crying. Be
Hmm.
like,
Exactly.
oh,
Yeah.
you a little
Yep.
bitch. And then
Yep.
if you didn't cry, they beat your ass because, oh, you think you're a big man?
Yep.
I'm like, yo,
Yep. Yep.
make up your mind. Pick a struggle here.
Yep.
I
Been
can't be
there.
both.
Yep.
Yo, so we had
So,
it even worse.
yeah.
Yep.
Um,
How have you changed with the times then, V, to I guess
Right.
still be a masculine man, but also stay in touch with reality as far as because well, your daughter's older, so you don't have young kids. But for Nick and I, like, what advice would you have for us as we as we try to
Mm-hmm.
you know,
raise masculine men?
the number one is that foundation's still there. You got to do right by your household. That's the big one. You got to do right by your household. You know, if that means getting 3 jobs, go get 3 jobs. You
Mm.
know, um, one of the things is, we're not allowed to break down, so you can't. I couldn't do that. I would
Mm-hmm.
come back from deployment, and and it's like there's certain things we just can't do. All the other things get rid of. Of course, don't beat your wife, don't whatever. Fight your demons. But masculinity's changed, but it hasn't really. I still have to keep up the household. I still got to make sure things get done. Um, it just it just shifted a little.
Yeah.
Like it's like being a civilized caveman.
Hmm.
You can't
Hmm.
go around beating people in the head with a stick, but I know how to beat you over the head with something else because I've learned to transition that into something else whether it's, wanting to get ahead in life, wanting to be a good father, wanting to be a good husband, good boyfriend, good brother. All those things come into play, and you just gotta shift that focus.
Mm-hmm.
If your idea of being a man was having 5 women, well, just learn how to love one woman enough for 5. And
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
you
I see
know
what you're
Mm.
saying.
and that's the thing. And a lot of things is also that masculinity came from insecurity
Mm.
that they weren't allowed to talk about. So I look back and I'm thinking, wow, my dad did. My dad was a functional alcoholic, drug addict,
Mm.
and why? Because he wasn't allowed to have feelings. He wasn't allowed to, to talk about his my grandfather or my grandmother. So that's what happens. It became a vicious cycle where I'm insecure, so I gotta, I gotta be the man that beds the most women. I gotta be the man that's the fighter, the this, that, and the other. But now that we've learned to kind of tap into that, and we're learning to come into play with who we are, and that's a big pill to swallow. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not as strong as I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
Physically you could do things, but inside you're like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck's happening? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I
Yeah.
feeling? That's a big one. Why am I feeling like this today? Our
Mm.
parents, what they did was they would just go drink, come
Yep.
home, smack the wife, and go to bed. And we're learning to deal with it. And it's a hard learning curve. It is.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
trust me, I want to go out there and I want to get drunk every day. I want to get into a bar fight. I want to, sometimes I want to just put hands on people I shouldn't. But you take a step back, you're like, but it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Let me bring this back in.
Hmm. But you learn
Now,
that through with maturity too, though.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what's your biggest fear, Nick, as as you're raising your son? What's your biggest fear, based on what V just said about masculinity, like how it's changed throughout time? What's the
Yeah.
biggest thing you think you might fuck up, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, as you raise your son?
I'll eat. Oh, that's a good. I think maybe like being too hard on them. Either being too hard on them or not giving them enough time. I wasn't raised with a dad who was like hanging out with his son all the time and wanting to go to the park. Hell no. Like he
Let's play
did.
catch.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't do that. I think that's like my biggest fear is either not spending enough time or being too hard on him. That's like my biggest fear. I won't find out until he's older and he can have his, I hate my dad phase. Then I'll learn about it all. Hopefully he won't have that phase. I think all boys go through that phase.
Yeah,
I don't, I think we all do.
yeah,
So I think that's when I'll find out. But it's like a balancing act. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. It's the most awkward phase of my life so far, bro.
Oh
yeah,
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 for real.
and
That is, you know, everything we did in the military, there was a manual attached to it. If
yep,
Exactly.
there was a
Yep.
TM, there was an SOP. There was a learning
Yep.
curve. All you got to do, they give you a baby in the hospital. They're like, yo, good luck.
Good
Good
luck.
luck with
Yep.
this.
Yep.
All you got to do is
Yep.
try to keep it alive. Try to keep it alive. Here, take this. This is yours, sir.
You
Good
got
luck.
to keep it alive.
Keep it alive. That's it.
that's
Yeah, I'm
wild.
gonna tell you right now is my daughter's 21, and she was a kid throughout all my deployments. So that was a hard, a hard fatherhood pill to
I
swallow.
bet.
Was when I got out, she had this whole life, and her mother did great raising her, and I wasn't a part of it, you know.
Mm.
And her mother did a great job. Like, we have a great relationship, but she appreciates. She also understands that she was afforded the lifestyle that she has
Yeah.
because of the sacrifices that I did, because of the deployments, because of all those things. So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Conversations. We have a lot of conversations,
And
Now.
I
and
think that's
yeah,
key, and that's
Yeah.
something that over time I've learned, because I've always been like a big introvert, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
my wife tells me now, like, I'm holding meetings because I'm like entrepreneur by trade, so I have meetings in my head when ideas come there. Like, I'll spend like an hour of just being in my head and just wargaming stuff, right? So even though I'm like, I'll be driving and I won't say anything to her, and she can just look and see the wheels spinning because I always tell her, "Hey, I'm in a meeting. You're interrupting," you know. So,
I like that. Yeah.
But over time, I've had to learn to, have conversations with not only my kids but my wife, because it's like that's normal, right? And they need that, one, as an example, and two, just so I can start to develop them and show them like, hey, this is how you interact with people, this is how you talk to people, etc., etc. But again, there's no manuals to it, right? We're just learning as we go, and fingers crossed we get to the end state and they're not menaces, they're okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all we can really do. Switching gears a little bit, guys. Nick, where were you whenever 9/11 happened?
I was in 11th grade, bro. Biology class. 11th grade biology class, and a teacher came in and said that there was a small, the initial like story was that a small like a private plane, like a commuter jet, hit the building, and they rolled in a TV. Remember how they used to roll in TVs on that cart, and they put it on, and I remember looking at it, just seeing like a building smoking. I didn't think anything of it. And then I think that's when the second plane hit. Shortly after that, we saw it live, and the kids start freaking out, the teachers start freaking out. We left school, me and my best friend and my sister and his two sisters. We left school, came home. Uh, my mom met us there, picked us up, turned on the TV, and I remember watching it with my family, like all night long. We watched another plane hit. We watched the buildings fall, watching people jump out, and my mom was crying. I think my dad he was just quiet. My mom was crying, and I was just like in shock and pissed. I was in ROTC at the time, and I already knew I wanted to join the military and go do, military stuff. And it was like, man, now I really can't wait to join, because I knew we were going to war at that point. I had never seen anything like it, but watching people jump out, and then the Pentagon got hit. And then I was like, I felt scared as hell, bro. I was like, dude, we're under attack. Like, are they going to start bombing X missiles, or is the White House going to get hit? I was scared, bro, scared and confused, pissed, angry. And dude, it was like we stayed up. We didn't have school the next day. I think we were out of school for like
A week,
while,
right?
bro,
Yeah.
a few days. And living next to BWI Airport, hearing that airport go quiet when they shut down the airspace, my whole time growing up there, I'd never heard it that quiet, bro. It was like an eerie feeling, not hearing any planes in the sky. They shut down the airport, the airspace. Dude, it was a eerie feeling, but I'll never forget it. Where it all
Yeah.
started. Biology class, 11th grade, bro.
Yeah. Now, V, I know yours is pretty detailed, man. If you don't mind just taking us through it one more time.
Oh, thank you, Jay. Thank you for reliving the worst day of my life over twice on your podcast. Thank you. So,
You know what's weird though? I've never talked to anybody like who was in New York when it happened.
Yeah.
Like their
so
perspective.
not
Well,
only
both
was
of us
I in New
were. So there
York,
you
Oh,
go.
that's right, Jay. Yeah.
so not only was I in New York, lived in New York, I lived in Manhattan. I worked in Manhattan,
Oh,
and my dad worked in World Trade Center 1, 62nd floor,
no.
and so at the time, my wife and I, we both worked in Manhattan. We got off on 42nd Street, uh, and we're walking. I'm walking to my building. I worked in the Chrysler building. She worked a few blocks down, and the sky went black. And we look up, and that's how low the airplane was flying.
Oh, you saw the
But
airplane.
oh yeah, brother, yeah.
Shit.
So the airplane, but we didn't think anything of it. So I went and I got coffee and a bagel, whatever. I went to my office. When I got to my office, I got all these messages from my wife that a plane just flew into the World Trade Center. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I don't know what I was thinking. I told her, go home, go to my grandmother's house, because my grandmother's watching TV and she's watching a plane fly into the building that her son works in. So she goes home, and I leave Chrysler building to head downtown. Don't ask me what the fuck I was gonna do. But I leave the Chrysler building, and you know how close a revolving door is to the slider? There's no
Nope.
space.
Nope.
So I'm running to catch, I see the train and I'm pushing the revolving door. And don't ask me how it happened. My foot gets stuck between the revolving door and that slider.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm stuck there there was no moving. Everything's going on. Every firefighter, every ambulance, every cop is downtown. And I'm stuck there. And finally this firefighter comes and he's like, bro, this is gonna hurt. I'm gonna break this fucking thing to get your foot out, and then you're on your own.
Foo.
So he got me out, and I got myself to the hospital. My ankle was broken.
God.
I got myself to the hospital, and as soon as I walk in, I didn't walk in. I fucking rolled in. I see my father's ex-girlfriend. She's the first person I see, and she starts crying, and I start crying. And at that moment, they're like, "Look, brother, suck it up, wrap it up, and go home. We ain't got space for this shit." So I'm walking. We're walking, brother. It was like refugees. We're walking up Manhattan towards the Bronx, and I remember. Nope, I'm not gonna cry, Jay. Not this time. So I remember there was an alleyway, and I went into that alleyway, and like you say, you were scared, bro. I was 30 years old. I was a grown ass man with responsibility, but I went into that alleyway and I cried. I was so scared. And then I said, and this was the truth. I said, I will never be scared like this again. Never in my
Mm.
fucking life will I be scared like this. And then my dad made it out. My dad made it
Good.
out.
Good.
He was never the same. He died 11 years after that, but to us, he died that day. He was never the same. Um, I had a cousin who was a firefighter. He didn't make it out. A lot of friends that you just didn't hear from ever again.
Damn.
So it hit home. And then I re-enlisted because I was prior service. I re-enlisted. Like I said, I thought I was going to do just one term, get my gun on and come back home. And, I wound up just doing it for a total of 20 years. But yeah, that experience has shaped so much and it changed me. I had to grow up fast.
Mm.
Yeah.
I became I don't want to say a bad person, but I became a very dark person after that. Because back then that was the fuel. Everyone's got a different fuel to get them through, whatever the Q course, Ranger School, Buzz, whatever your fuel is, my fuel was that. My fuel was
Mm.
that rage, that anger, that hate. Um, and now
Was
it's
that the
like,
scariest thing you think you've been through?
yeah, yeah,
Really?
yep. I
Really?
think, yeah. Because before that, everything was always notional. Everything happened outside of the United States. That doesn't happen
Yeah.
here.
Yep.
And then it hits here and like, you know, suddenly you're vulnerable. Like, oh shit, we're not as good as we thought we were. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
Nick, that's a humbling, scary feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And from that day on, I took charge of not being scared, challenging myself. Now it's just getting on those stages, but because that's terrifying to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Right before I get on the stage, I hope someone in the audience, and I hope they don't feel bad, gets a heart attack and they cancel the show, and I don't got to perform because it's not my fault. But no one ever gets a heart attack. I got to perform. But yeah, no, I swear that's a real thing. I'm like,
Oh,
man, if someone just gets a little heart attack, they'll
A
cancel the
little.
show. Not a half a heart attack. They'll cancel the show, and it's not my fault. But that was the scariest day, and uh, yeah, that was bad. That was bad. And it still comes up. It still comes up. That was the last
yeah.
time I saw my childhood friends that I grew up with in New York because I left New York. I didn't go back.
Damn.
Yeah.
I went back on leave, and every now and now I haven't been back in years.
Yeah.
So that
You're not
day,
missing much. It's
I know
the city's
that day
still
tore
going.
my family apart.
Yeah.
It tore my family apart. We were never the same. Um, you know, I could say even though I was a grown man, that was the day that my childhood ended. Things weren't safe.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
I think
about you, Jay? Did you see it?
yeah, so my was slightly different because he was on the island. I was across the Brooklyn Bridge. because my high school was right at the like the opening of the Brooklyn Bridge was where my high school was. So I was in class, man. Like I was computer science, and we had laptops, and I didn't have a laptop at home, so I would get to class early, and me and my buddies, we would, like we watch porn on
I
the
bet.
internet, right?
I was about
Yeah.
to say that. Yeah.
So
I was a
we
And
would
that is
face
why
towards the
he's a
window,
computer genius today.
Yep.
and like all of us would just be in the, and then out of nowhere, this kid ran into the classroom because the city's just noisy, man. It's
Yeah.
construction's going on, jackhammers, so we heard all the commotion with the fire trucks from downtown and Brooklyn going across the bridge but we didn't think any of it. That's just a regular day in the city. So this kid runs in. He was like, "Hey, you guys didn't hear what happened?" And we're like, "No." It was like, "Yo, planes are hitting the World Trade Center." So we just thought he was crazy. Like, we didn't think anything of it. And we didn't have TVs in the classrooms. So we just kind of brushed him off. And then the principal came over the intercom. He was like, "Hey, there's been an attack. School is out." Right.
Yep.
And that's when everybody walked out, and we looked, because you have the Brooklyn Bridge, you have the Hudson River right there. We looked across into Lower Manhattan, and you can just see the sky was just black. Right.
Damn.
You had smoke, it's like smoke like engulfed the entire city, and it's like a dark storm is coming, right? So we're looking, and at this point I'm in the 11th grade, like you, Nick. Like, I'm not I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm clueless, right? Because I didn't see it on TV yet, because when the towers got hit, the antenna sits on the top of the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
So we can't even see what's going on in the city, right? Because there's no television. So we're looking, and then the Walking Dead is what I call them, right? People started walking across the bridge to go home, and it was just like everyone was just covered in soot. Like, people were just defeated, right? The look of defeat, everybody had it on their face, man, and they're just walking like zombies, not saying anything to anybody. And I just jumped in the crowd, man, and I walked home that day to Canarsie from Lower Manhattan, and it was just a somber feeling, man. And after that, I got home. My mom and dad were already home. The rest of my siblings were home. And then the TV got turned back on, because I think they had antennas on top of the Chrysler building also. And then we started to see what was taking place. And I think for me, it was just more so anger, what I mean? Because being from, something about New Yorkers, man, I don't know why we're like, it's almost like a bragging thing, and we're so proud of it. And it was more so like, how dare you do this? You know what I mean? And it just, I still had another year left in high school, my senior year. So after that, that was it, man. I joined, and seeking revenge like most of us were, you know what I mean? So.
Do you think it brought New York closer after that, or on that day?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think it brought the entire country closer.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody was patriotic. I think V said it best, because after, I want to say the next day, V, you went to the recruiting station, and then it was, everybody, you know what I mean? So yeah, it brought everybody closer, man, and just kind of made us want to serve. I think the city was closer. And now, granted, we're going around beating up dudes in 7-Elevens.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, yep.
Everybody was getting it. If you own a 7-Eleven and you smoke weird, you're getting your ass beat, right? That's just what took place out there.
Damn, that must have been scary in New York, bro.
Dude, it was. I think everybody was freaking out, man. Especially my mom and dad. They didn't know what to expect. So because the crazy thing is, we didn't know if that was it or if more were gonna come. We didn't know if there was more attacks. So it was.
Did you sleep that night?
Oh no, dude, I don't remember sleeping at all.
Yeah,
right? Because, man, I think we stayed up playing video games and just kind of talking with each other, checking on family members we had around the area. And it was just, man, and I hope something like that never happens again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because.
Do you think it will, though, bro? I mean, that's a tough one, right?
We are so, like we are so advanced and we are so into everybody's business as far as the intel picture that I hope it never happens again. I hope we have enough reach and foresight to catch everything before it happens. Because if something else does happen, it's going to be, man, 10 times worse than 9/11.
Yep. I'm thinking like suicide bombers or IEDs or something. Like, how can you stop that, bro? You know what I mean?
You can't, man. And if they're here and they're plotting, I just hope that it never fucking happens, man. Because if it does, like, I hate to, and I didn't have kids back then. It was just me as a teen. Now that I have a family and a wife and 2 kids to protect, I don't know what I would do, man.
Right.
It would
I'm
tear
not
this
signing back up to go.
Oh no, but I would just be citizen vigilante.
Yep.
Right? You'd just be hunting people that you think are suspicious.
Right.
And that's fucking dangerous within itself, man.
Exactly.
So I really hope that it never comes to that. Just like I think it was last week, Spain looked like it was getting overran by a bunch of refugees. And I'm like, what the heck is going on there, man? It's I don't know, man. I just feel like it's scary times to live through nowadays because you never really know like where the next threat is coming from. That's why as much shit as I give the United States government, like at the end of the day, you still got to be, as an American, like I'm very appreciative of what some of these entities are doing because when we become isolated and we become a sleeping giant and we don't have ears literally everywhere, you won't be able to tell where it's coming from.
You're going to get attacked. Yeah.
And especially, I want to say the most disturbing thing and the most annoying thing is all the conspiracies that are coming out around 9/11.
Oh yeah, like when he said like the no plane, they were saying there's no planes that was all CGI and all that, bro.
I was like, no, there were planes. There were planes. They were definitely there. But I've heard, stories about people knew about it and they let it happen, and that it was staged. Other governments had a hand in it. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I had to stop listening to it because I found myself getting to the point of doing something crazy. You know what I mean? Because if that was the case and people did know about it and they chose not to do anything about it or they let it happen, like fuck, man. Not only was a city destroyed or almost destroyed because of it, but it also brought on like a 20+ year conflict that you and I both lost dudes in. And I'm like, if there is somebody out there that's responsible for that, like, man, how are they not fucking dead right now?
Right.
So that's the scary part, man. As I was, started listening to some of these conspiracy theories, Alex Jones, some of the other guys out there that was pushing it, I was like, I can't even let myself believe even a Smith bit of truth.
Wow, yeah.
Because it might lead to me doing something stupid or somebody else out there doing something stupid, right? That's like being on the battlefield and knowing that your CO let one of your buddies die on purpose.
Oh fuck yeah, that's
and didn't do anything about it. He could have stopped it but didn't, and then the dude ended up dying. Like you'll always resent that dude, or you'll always want to do harm to that guy. So I was like, no, man, I can't let that
go down
shit.
the rabbit hole too far.
Because I was like, I might get to the point of no return. So I was like, nope, not doing that. But I don't think Vio text me. But while he gets his shit ready, Nick, there's a clip that I wanted to play and get your feedback on. If he doesn't jump back on, then we'll end it, the two of us. But I was watching this this clip from a guest from Shawn Ryan, and I thought it was pretty interesting, man, because I know a lot of guys deal with this. I find a way to get over it, but I just wanted to get your feedback on this, and then we'll go from there. Speaking of Shawn Ryan, has he reached out yet, or is he
not on my end, bro?
Okay.
Last one I seen him do an interview with was with Strickland.
Oh, that was a good one.
Have you watched it all? I haven't watched it
Yeah,
all. It's
my
good.
man Shawn Strickland is wild, man. Just
Okay.
my man is wild, man. Just out there, just no fucks given, and just
Right.
sharing his
Is
thoughts,
he
which
still
is
active?
I want to say he's still fighting, but he's almost
Kind of
on a
banned.
blacklist. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Because of the shit that he says. That's just
Yep.
outrageous. All right, let's take a look at this clip, and then I get your feedback.
I killed 2 men that didn't deserve it. They're digging furiously. They're looking over their shoulders. They're doing all the things that tells me that they're not supposed to be there. And they're putting this thing in the ground. And I decide to take my shot. 4 pounds of pressure to break this trigger and to end this man's life. I hit the first man in the chest. He spins around, come over to the second man who's now reaching for something. And I can't tell what he's reaching for. Is it a weapon system? Is he trying to detonate an IED? What is he doing? And he's crawling towards the first man. And I take my second shot and I end his life. And the sun begins to set. And part of Sharia law is being able to bury their dead before the sun sets so that their bodies and their souls can have a chance at heaven. A procession starts to happen inside of the small little village, and I watch this as the sun is fading, and I realize they weren't digging an IED. They were building a wall for their family. The thing that they were putting in the ground were cinder blocks.
Now, Nick, without incriminating yourself or admitting to any war crimes, how would you advise anyone to deal with something like this that is carrying around survivor's guilt, essentially? No, not necessarily survivor's guilt, but the guilt of taking somebody's life that didn't deserve
Didn't need it. Yeah.
Right? How would you advise anyone to deal with something like that?
First, bro, that was some good advice you just gave me.
Yeah.
You know, in the beginning, I needed
I saw that clip. I was like, oh, come on, man. You can't just be
Yeah.
out here telling people you kill people.
You
that
can't
didn't
be
deserve
doing
it.
that. But I can relate to certain aspects of it.
Mhm.
But I think that, like, damn, dude, I don't know if you ever really, like, I was gonna ask V, bro, like, does he think that, like, scars heal or go away, or is it
It's not.
always there with you forever? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And I
Like, I
think
think that World Trade Center scar, because, man, I went back not too long ago to visit, like, the One Trade Center, and I still get very emotional about it to where I don't even want to fucking go there. So I don't think
haven't
it's
been
something
there.
that, so I don't think that's something that fully heals, in my opinion.
So it's a coping thing then, bro.
Yeah.
I think everybody has their way of coping. And that's the thing, dude. Like, I don't think it ever goes away. I think you'll always feel something. It's just learning to not have an attachment and like an emotional attachment to it anymore if you can. Finding a way to cope or not gonna say like not think about it. I mean, sure, the dude probably dreams about it. Or even with V dreaming about, 9/11. I don't think it ever goes away, man. I think it's more of you gotta have a coping mechanism, something that helps you cope, or if you do need to go back and revisit. And that's like me going back to Arlington Cemetery. I don't have any desire to go back to see all the fallen or whatever. I don't have a desire to do that because I do want to stay away from it, kind of keep that buffer, that barrier. I don't really feel like revisiting that, bro. But I still think about it. I think we're going to always think about certain things. I don't know if we're going to get over it. It goes away. I don't know, bro. I don't think it does. I mean, you look at guys when I was growing up, dude, I'm sure like for you too, like when you were growing up or you saw or read a book about Vietnam guys or you saw a documentary or something, and those guys at that age, older guys, they would still cry.
Yep.
They'd still break down. I'm like, they were 17, 18 years old when they were doing this. So it made me wonder, like, do guys who've seen traumatic things, does it ever go away? Do you ever find a sense of peace or whatever? I don't think you do, man.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think so. Because even now, like some of my childhood, trauma, similar with yours and the frog, like it still fucks with us. You know what I mean? Like it still stays with us, right?
Yep.
I think
I'm never gonna fuck with frogs, bro. Ever. Ever. Ain't happening.
I think it's just one of those things that you just have to find ways to cope with it and not let it
Control
take
your
over your
life.
life, because
Yeah.
I know some Vietnam era dudes and they still deal with a lot of trauma, whether it's
Hmm.
survivor's guilt, or what have you. And I think as long as there's wars, there's always going to be, PTSD and guys
Yeah.
dealing with, whether it's survival guilt or just guilt in general. I don't think that's ever
Yeah.
going to go away. But we'll hit this last question and then we'll punch out of here, Nick, and then
Yeah.
we'll go from there. Was there ever a moment during your service that challenged you, as far as your values more than your courage? Right after we watched that clip, was there ever a moment during your military service that challenged your values more than courage itself?
Challenge my values more than
Yeah,
courage.
yeah.
Hmm.
I think for me, I'll go first while you ponder, because especially with us, the one of the missions that we were doing early 2010 was village stability operations, right? So they, for
Hmm.
example, take my team and they put us in, I don't know, Baltimore City, and they
Hmm.
told us to go win the hearts and minds and become one with the people,
And you
and
don't want to.
no, because
Nope.
that, and it's difficult because they don't want you there, right? The
Hmm.
people, it's like you take a bunch of 6+ feet tall white dudes and then me, and you're like, here, this province belongs to you now,
Yeah.
go win the hearts and minds, and it's like, so we spent 12+ months trying
God.
to course those people, living amongst them, dude, shitting in the holes and taking showers with water bottles, and like, no shit, a true like SF mission like that. That is unconventional
Yeah.
warfare at its peak. And it was challenging because you would hang out with these people and you get to know their families, etc., and then you go hit targets at night, and some of the same guys you were just having chai with or eating foot bread with, like they got holes in them now, right? Because
Yeah.
they were playing double agent, right? They were
Damn.
friends to your face, and then at night they're shooting at you, right? So that was one of those things. You're like, man, that's unique, because you're like, you build a friendship, you don't want to kill that guy, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you still have to create white space and get the Taliban out of there. That's the whole reason why you're there. So that
Yeah.
was pretty challenging, man. Like, knowing that you're during the day, you're having lunch and you're having fun with these dudes, and then at night you
Yeah.
might end up killing some of the same guys that you just served with, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty challenging, to where you're like, man, I'm fucking tired of doing this,
Yep.
of
Yep. Yep.
doing this, and it kept
I.
happening over and over
Yeah.
again until we left that area. So yeah, that was morally challenging.
I think one for me would be the prisoners, bro. Like, when you hit a target
Mhm.
and you take back prisoners, um, riding back with them, flying back with them, however we're getting them back, and this guy could have just shot somebody,
Mhm.
our IED makers and shit like
Mhm.
that. You capture an IED maker, and everything in your body wants to, end this guy, kill this guy, but you can't because of the whole Geneva
Yeah.
Convention, the ROE, and all that, bro. And this was back when we had the black sites before they
Mhm.
got banned, and we had a black site on our compound. The three-letter agency guys would come and do some interrogation or whatnot, but we'd watch them on our compound for a couple of days, a few days, and being with these guys, dude. And yeah, it was hard for a lot of us not to want to kill these people that just got done doing bad things to our guys, and you got to hold them or keep them prisoner or transport them to this next location so they can be interrogated, or sent to Guantanamo Bay or whatever, wherever they got sent to. But
Yeah.
then I remember when it flipped and these prisoners got released. The guys that we had been capturing, like, they had got released back into Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever we were at. And it's like, dude, you should have killed them in the first place. And
They went
like,
back to doing the same shit.
same exact thing, and just with more vengeance, bro.
Mhm.
They wanted to do more damage because what happened to them in prison, or whatever happened to them. They hated us more, so they would come back and do the same thing. You got to go back and the same mission you had just did. You could have killed them on the spot the first time. It would have saved us a few missions or a few guys from being hit or blown up. That was
How
always
did you guys
hard for me
maintain
to go through.
your motivation while all that? Because I can imagine that can be demoralizing.
Dude, I don't know how the fuck we did it. I don't know. That's a damn good question. It's like AM and FM radio. You got
Mm-hmm.
actual motivation and fake false
Yep.
motivation. And you got to play both of them, bro. I mean, like it's like being in basic training.
Yep.
And that shit sucked. Nobody wants to be in basic, and you go through basic training. You don't want to be there, but you still have to play the game. You still have to wake up and do the formations and all the little reindeer games that they play in,
Mm-hmm.
in basic, bro. It's you don't want to, but you have to. But I think that's why a lot of guys got out too, man. Like it was just the way the war was changing over time. You go from fighting back in 2005 and fast forward to like late 2000 or mid 2000s, 2010, 2011, 2012. The war had changed so much over. When I went back contracting, bro, you saw, seeing the army guys and the mission set. There were more SF guys over there, but they were
Mm-hmm.
doing the train ups for the Iraqi police force. I'm like, man, the war had changed so much. Guys, SF guys, Rangers, we had been over there, causing destruction. We were doing our job, and then fast forward a decade and the war had changed so much. And then a decade after that, 20 years later, all the changes that went through, I think that's what caused a lot of guys to, it's like, what are we doing this for after a while?
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
tired of it. You start asking too many questions, bro. And just like, man, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
done with the games.
Yeah. That shit gets old after a while, right?
Yep.
Now we
Yep.
watch the
It ain't
cycle
like the
repeat
movies,
itself.
bro.
Oh no, fuck no. Fuck
It ain't
no.
like the movies.
Yeah.
I
People
think
think
that's
it
where
is.
a lot of people get confused.
Yeah.
Yep.
People think it is because even the movies we watch now between Platoon and the
Yeah.
Vietnam era, Black Hawk, it's like, man, it's not the same. I
Nope.
went in expecting that's how it was, and then I
Me too.
quickly I was like, oh, they're shooting back, and the bullets are actually. I was like, oh
Yep.
no, this
Yep. Yep.
they're playing for
Shit
keeps
gets
out
real
here.
quick. You get real quick.
Oh yeah, I was like, nah.
I got a
we're
question, bro. Were you ever scared overseas or what?
Yeah, I think the scariest my first deployment, I was scared shitless.
Just when
Especially
you were doing route
because
clearance?
yeah, I
Mm.
was terrified, man. Like I remember I used to go out and I used to Top Gun, and I just remember like, man, if an IED goes off, it's gonna throw me out of the truck, and the truck might roll over me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was scared and terrified, and then I became numb and didn't care anymore.
There you go. Yep.
Because like the first 3 or 4 months, just fucking terrified because I'm 18,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing here?
Yep.
And then we lost half of my squad to an
Damn.
IED, a 600-pound bomb. And the crazy thing is, my vehicle went over it, and it didn't go off, and it went off on the third
Ooh.
truck. Yeah, so truck number 1 went, truck number 2, my truck went, and then truck number 3 got hit, and I watched the mushroom cloud, and after that, it was just numbness, man. I was like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I was like, yep, if I fucking go, I go. If I don't, then I don't. Right?
Damn.
And it was just, and that was month 4, so we still had like 8 more months.
Oh yeah, you're numb, bro. Hell yeah.
Bro. It was half of the squad went, then my company commander, my first sergeant, the ops sergeant, the
They
mechanic,
died?
they ended up dying.
Oh man.
This was like Ramadi, Fallujah area, 03,
Okay.
04. So after
Rough.
that, I was done, man. The
Rough.
fear was just gone, and it was just no fucks given.
Yep.
Like I was top gunning with the 50. I was just fucking shooting at cars that got close by. Everything was just numb, man. It was all like a blur.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just wanted to just end, So I was like,
Yep.
man, if I get hit, like fuck it. In the meantime, like cars come by that just and it's fucked up because that happened, and then you get new leadership in that don't understand what you just went through.
Yeah.
So they're trying to be all who, and you're like, No, man.
Ain't
Like,
nobody got time for that shit,
yeah,
bro.
like
Yep.
fuck this, you know? So yeah, it was yeah, the fear dissipate, but it wasn't because I wasn't fearful. It was just because I didn't care. Because
Yeah.
when you care and you want to live, and yeah, you're gonna be fearful and you got to find courage and all that stuff. I just didn't. I was like, fuck it, man. Like,
Yep.
if I get blown up, like, just take me. Like, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But
Make
yeah,
it quick.
yeah, exactly right. After a while, though, I was like, then I get back to the States, and it was more the same. We got in trouble, got arrested. It was just a fucking shit show, man. And then eventually, I got my life back on track.
Then you had to join SF.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I joined was because I felt like we were just pawns, man. Like, I got tired of just going out there and getting blown up. Like, that's literally what we would do. Like, they would tell us to go do rock clearance. We get blown up, or we find something, we sit there, get shot at, and then we rinse and repeat. And I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore. You're losing buddies left and right, and you're not doing anything. We can't assault objectives because we can't leave the road unattended. It was just a shitty job and just shitty rotations, man. After that, I was like, no, man. Like, I'm either getting out or I'm doing something else that allows me to be proactive.
And the guys, some guys had to go back, didn't they?
Oh yeah. Some of my buddies went back and did it, and now they're fucked up beyond relief with PTSD and missing limbs and all that shit. But I'm like, yeah, good times. Good times.
Yeah,
but,
what
do you got going on this weekend, man? Anything crazy?
No, nothing crazy, bro. Like you said, gearing up for school, got him signed up.
Nice.
I got like some parent orientation thing.
Oh,
you know, after the show, you know, bro. Yeah.
Is it he's doing private school, right?
Yes, sir. Online,
nice.
online, yeah.
Nice. Good for you guys, man. Yeah, because they'll probably just let you know what to expect and all that stuff. Because my kids go back to school on the 20th, so we got the emails with all that stuff, and then my wife typically goes to the like parent teacher meetings and all of that stuff.
Bro, these kids got it good. He's off every Friday. He's off every Friday, shit. Bro. Yeah. Could you imagine? Yeah.
That's a 3-day weekend.
Come on. I mean, like, dude, you shouldn't fail anything. Your motivation should be sky high.
Oh,
you know?
Oh man,
every
I wish.
Friday?
What time does he get out?
It's early. It's like 4 or 5 hours of school, bro.
Oh my Lord.
Like 4 or 5, like 4 hours. What's that?
Like, I said he's winning all the way around.
Yeah, dude. I wish we had 8 hours. Like my son is trying to complain. Yeah, he's trying to complain. I don't want to do something. Like, listen, dude. I had to go sit in a class for 8 hours somewhere.
Yep.
You know,
and I got lunch for like an hour.
You got lunch. Yeah.
And then had to go back at it. No.
Yep. It's different, bro. Different.
I'm telling you, man. Raising this generation is going to be challenging. So I'm like,
it is.
Do whatever I can to make sure mines don't end up being menaces. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens.
Try not to raise a Jeffrey Dahmer, bro. That's my goal. That's my goal.
But all right, man, I appreciate you, Nick. All right, folks, let us know what you guys think about this one. Like I said, if V had to drop out due to comms issues, I think he's in Illinois somewhere getting ready for a show, but we appreciate him jumping on the time that he did. I'll make sure I get his information to put in the link below. And folks, let us know what you guys think about this one. Appreciate all the support. All right, we'll see you guys next week.